Hello everybody.
Hi.
This is Audra and Sally, and we just wanted to say a few words about Papa John. We loved him so much.
Yeah.
He meant the world to us. He was the kindest,
Yeah.
sweetest, and funniest. And he loved his babies, didn't he? He loved Henry and Ben and Zozo and Rahil and of course Victor, and he loved Sally. And he and Sandra were just like a set of grandparents to Sally and to Zozo, and like a papa. And Sandra, of course, is like a mom to me.
Yeah. But the real mom is grandmommy.
Of course. But we're sending you all of our love. And Sally wanted to sing a song for Papa. So this is for Papa. Ready?
Yeah. Let's do it together.
We'll do it together. You want to start? Okay.
You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away.
We love you, Papa John.
We love you so much.
So much. I would send our love to everybody down there.
And I'm sending all of my love to everybody and most of all to you.
We're sending this message of remembrance for our love of John. We love you, Sandra, so much, and we want to share a few memories of Papa, who we got to know over 13 years. When we couldn't be there to take care of our boys, Sandra and Papa were always there to take care of them, give them love, and lots of treats. We're going to just say goodbye and say we love you.
I miss you a lot, Papa. You know, I really loved hanging out at your house with you.
We'll miss you, Papa.
We were supposed to do this together, John. So, I will, in my 100% pure Trini shot glass, give a toast to you, my friend. Not full. Oh, Lord. Okay. Ready? Punch in.
Punch in. We love you, John.
Ah!
प्रेम सिंधु में चल आज निहाले परम पिता का प्रेम
have wheelchair and you can park in it?
Yeah, that's always
ज्योति बिंदु परमात्मा से है मेरी आत्मा अब चल कर ले मिलन अब चल कर ले मिलन अब चल कर ले मिलन परमानंद का अनुभव कर ओ परमानंद का अनुभव कर तू धन्य बना जीवन ज्योति बिंदु ज्योति बिंदु परमात्मा से है मेरी आत्मा अब चल कर ले मिलन अब चल कर ले मिलन अब चल कर ले मिलन प्रभु की प्राप्ति का मूल मंत्र है संपूर्ण समर्पण है आत्मा चल प्रभु को सौंप दे तू सारा जीवन देख प्रभु तेरे निकट विराजे ओ देख प्रभु तेरे निकट विराजे कर ले अभिवादन ज्योति बिंदु ज्योति बिंदु परमात्मा से है मेरी आत्मा अब चल कर ले मिलन अब चल कर ले मिलन अब चल कर ले मिलन परमानंद का अनुभव करो परमानंद का अनुभव कर तू धन्य बना जीवन ज्योति बिंदु ज्योति बिंदु परमात्मा से है मेरी आत्मा अब चल कर ले मिलन अब चल कर ले मिलन अब चल कर ले मिलन ज्योति बिंदु के प्रेम सिंधु में चल आज निहाले परम पिता का प्रेम पात्र बन कर तू शुभ वर पाले किरण किरण को निरख नयन से ओ किरण किरण को निरख नयन से को जा मन में मगन ज्योति बिंदु ज्योति बिंदु परमात्मा से परमात्मा से अब चल कर ले मिलन, अब चल कर ले मिलन, अब चल कर ले मिलन। परमानंद का अनुभव कर, ओ परमानंद का अनुभव कर, तू धन्य बना जीवन। ज्योति बिंदु, ज्योति बिंदु परमात्मा से है मेरी आत्मा। अब चल कर ले मिलन, अब चल कर ले मिलन, अब चल कर ले मिलन। प्रभु की प्राप्ति का मूल मंत्र है संपूर्ण समर्पण। है आत्मा चल प्रभु को सौंप दे तू सारा जीवन। देख प्रभु तेरे निकट विराजे, ओ देख प्रभु तेरे निकट विराजे, कर ले अभिवादन। ज्योति बिंदु, ज्योति बिंदु परमात्मा से है मेरी आत्मा। अब चल कर ले मिलन, अब चल कर ले मिलन, अब चल कर ले मिलन। परमानंद का अनुभव कर, ओ परमानंद का अनुभव कर, तू धन्य बना जीवन। ज्योति बिंदु, ज्योति बिंदु परमात्मा से है मेरी आत्मा। अब चल कर ले मिलन, अब चल कर ले मिलन, अब चल कर ले मिलन। ज्योति बिंदु के प्रेम सिंधु में चल आज निहाले। परम पिता का प्रेम पात्र बन कर, ज्योति बिंदु परमात्मा से है मेरी आत्मा अब चल कर ले मिलन अब चल कर ले मिलन अब चल कर ले मिलन परमानंद का अनुभव कर ओ परमानंद का अनुभव कर तू धन्य बना जीवन ज्योति बिंदु ज्योति बिंदु परमात्मा से है मेरी आत्मा अब चल कर ले मिलन अब चल कर ले मिलन अब चल कर ले मिलन प्रभु की प्राप्ति का मूल मंत्र है संपूर्ण समर्पण है आत्मा चल प्रभु को सौंप दे तू सारा जीवन देख प्रभु तेरे निकट विराजे ओ देख प्रभु तेरे निकट विराजे कर ले अभिवादन ज्योति बिंदु ज्योति बिंदु परमात्मा से है मेरी आत्मा अब चल कर ले मिलन अब चल कर ले मिलन अब चल कर ले मिलन परमानंद का अनुभव करो परमानंद का अनुभव कर तू धन्य बना जीवन ज्योति बिंदु ज्योति बिंदु परमात्मा से है मेरी आत्मा अब चल कर ले मिलन अब चल कर ले मिलन अब चल कर ले मिलन ज्योति बिंदु के प्रेम सिंधु में चल आज निहाले परम पिता का प्रेम पात्र बन कर तू शुभ वर पाले किरण किरण को निरख नयन से ओ किरण किरण को निरख नयन से को जा मन में मगन ज्योति बिंदु ज्योति बिंदु परमात्मा से परमात्मा से है मेरी आत्मा अब चल कर ले मिलन अब चल कर ले मिलन अब चल कर ले मिलन परमानंद का अनुभव कर ओ परमानंद का अनुभव कर तू धन्य बना जीवन ज्योति बिंदु परमात्मा से है मेरी आत्मा अब चल कर ले मिलन अब चल कर ले मिलन अब चल कर ले मिलन प्रभु की प्राप्ति का मूल मंत्र है संपूर्ण समर्पण है आत्मा चल प्रभु को सौंप दे तू सारा जीवन देख प्रभु तेरे निकट विराजे ओ देख प्रभु तेरे निकट विराजे कर ले अभिवादन ज्योति बिंदु परमात्मा से है मेरी आत्मा अब चल कर ले मिलन अब चल कर ले मिलन अब चल कर ले मिलन परमानंद का अनुभव करो परमानंद का अनुभव कर तू धन्य बना जीवन ज्योति बिंदु परमात्मा से है मेरी आत्मा अब चल कर ले मिलन अब चल कर ले मिलन अब चल कर ले मिलन बिंदु के प्रेम सिंधु में चल आज निहाले परम पिता का प्रेम पात्र बन कर तू शुभ वर पाले किरण किरण को निरख नयन से को जा मन में मगन ज्योति बिंदु परमात्मा से बिंदु ज्योति बिंदु परमात्मा से है मेरी आत्मा अब चल कर ले मिलन अब चल कर ले मिलन अब चल कर ले मिलन परमानंद का अनुभव कर ओ परमानंद का अनुभव कर तू धन्य बना जीवन ज्योति बिंदु ज्योति बिंदु परमात्मा से है मेरी आत्मा अब चल कर ले मिलन अब चल कर ले मिलन अब चल कर ले मिलन प्रभु की प्राप्ति का मूल मंत्र है संपूर्ण समर्पण है आत्मा चल प्रभु को सौंप दे तू सारा जीवन देख प्रभु तेरे निकट विराज देख प्रभु तेरे निकट ज्योति बिंदु ज्योति बिंदु परमात्मा से
हरिमा पितृ भगवान की जय सच्ची सनातन धर्म की जय I humbly apologize for my late arrival. There's a lot of traffic on the Rivulet Road and so I think I'll have to invest in a helicopter to reach anywhere on time in Cuba. This morning we have all come in one accord to pay final tribute to our beloved as he lies before us. We're about to commence this ceremony that is known as the Anteshti or the funeral. It tells us according to our scriptures that there are several stages, several steps through which the body goes. The first being procreation and the last being this the Anteshti or the funeral. It is prescribed according to our scriptures that while we perform the rituals of the Anteshti, Those who in attendance, you and I alike, we must all stand as an act of respect. Let us all stand at this time as we bow our heads in prayer, praying to that one infinite being from whom we have come, asking and begging and praying that may this transition for the soul of Papa be a peaceful one. Hari Om Viganeshwaraya Varadaya Surapraya Lambhotaraya Sakalaya Jagathitaya Naga Surategya Vibhushitaya Gauri Sutaya Gananatha Namo Namaste Mokam Karoti Vachalam Pangulam Gete Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Paramananda Madhavam Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govinda Namo Namah Om Sri Vishnu Yagya Paramapane Sri Puram Purushotame Sri Atlantic Masagra Sunirade Sunirajite Amukha Namasya. 5 of you, think of your names. Amukha Janmadin, your date of birth. Amukha Pret Namasya, think of Papa's name. Iti Shriyanteshti Karamya Adiyante Ta Upatishtatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Harima Pitra Bhagavani ki jai. We offer the flowers right in front of you in the box. Om Sri Paramatmani Namo Namaha. We sprinkle water now, symbolic of purification, symbolic of bath. Om Madhyamagotasya Mukapretasya Mrityastani Suram Snanam Myadhyate Ta Upatishatam Papoham Papakarmam Papatmam Pundari Kaksha Sarva Papa Haro Hari Punatu Punatu. We adorn the body with chandan. Saying trapped in his body there were the senses of seeing, smelling, hearing, tasting, touching. We give you thanks, Bhagwan. Om Madhyamagotasya Mukapretasya Chandanam Myadhyate Ta Upatishatam Chandanam Myadhyate Ta Upatishatam. Leave it. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna Yatra Pato Danurdana Tatra Sri Vijayo Bhutara Dhruvani Tirmatirmama. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Perfume. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Narayanam Narahari Narayanam Keshava Narayanaya Govindaya Paramatmani Namo Namaha. Chandanam Myadhyate Ta Upatishatam Chandanam Myadhyate Ta Upatishatam. Pretatma Shantrabhavatu Pretatma Shantrabhavatu Pretatma Shantrabhavatu Chandanam Myadhyate Ta Upatishatam. Lokabhiramam Rananangadiram Rajevanitram Raghuvansanatam Karanyarupam Karunakarantam Sri Ramachandram Sirisha Namami. We adorn the body with perfume. Om Madhyamagotasya Mukapretasya Gandhaswam Indraswam Rihaspati Gandham Myadhyate Ta Upatishatam Gandham Myadhyate Ta Upatishatam. Govinda Govinda Hare Murari Govinda Govinda Mukunda Krishna Govinda Govinda Ratangapani Damodhar Madhamityo Sri Gandadanam Myadhyate Ta Upatishatam Gandadanam Myadhyate Ta Upatishatam. Pretatma Shantrabhavatu Pretatma Shantrabhavatu Pretatma Shantrabhavatu. Whenever we perform this ceremony, garlands of flowers or malas, they are placed around the neck of the person who has died. The cord or the thread that holds these flowers together is broken. And so today teaches us the very valuable lesson that we break the bond that we once shared with this body, and all that will remain behind are the beautiful flowers of memories that Papa would have left behind. Hari Om Namo Paramatmani Namaha. Burst the thread. टूट गई माला मोती बिखर चली, 2 दिन रहे तारे साथ जानी बिखर चली, टूट गई है माला मोती बिखर चली, दो दिन रहे तारे साथ जाने भी कर चले टूट गई माला. I get in trouble in almost every funeral I do. Nobody likes to hear the truth. I like to tell the truth. I don't have plenty of friends because of that. And then my life becomes very peaceful. The time to do arati for any given person is when they're alive, not when they're dead. Foolish people make a long line to do the arati for the dead body. And while you're alive, nobody talks to you, nobody looks to you, nobody has anything good to say about you or to you. The minute you're dead, they're reading a eulogy about how good you are. And while you are alive, you are the worst thing that existed. The time to do arati for any given person is when they're alive. The Guru Pran say, we wave the arati 5 times in a fixed position, saying trapped in this body. There were the 5 senses of seeing, smelling, hearing, tasting, touching. We wave the arati 5 times walking around, saying trapped in this body. There are the 5 elements of the earth and the air and the water. Today we return them to that place where they came from. We pray to Bhagavan, to Paramatma, may you be pleased. Hari Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Yamadwari Mahagore Deepamya 5 times fixed. Yamadwari Mahagore Deepamya Dhyateta Upatishatam Tattvalokanaataya Deepamya Dhyateta Upatishatam. Waving the arati, we walk around now. Hari Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Arima Pitra Bhagavani ki jai. Let us all be seated at this time. Sri Vishnavi Namaha. Come to the end of the line. Give it to him now. Come to the end of the line. At this time, I'm going to hand over the microphone to a member of the family who has planned the morning's eulogy to tell us a little bit about who Papa was. It is impossible to eulogize the life of any given person in 5 or 10 minutes, but to tell us a little bit about who he really was, I'm going to hand over the microphone to a member of the family who has planned the morning's eulogy.
Sitaram, Namaste, and good morning, everyone. I would like to thank everyone for being here today. I know that Dad is looking down right now on this and us. I truly believe that he knows how much he was loved and how much he impacted our lives. He was affectionately called Scratchy in Trinidad and John in New York. He was born on the 29th of December 1943 to the late Lakrajia Maharaj and to the late Sookdeo Sitaram. He grew up in Diamond Village, San Fernando, where he became a hard-working cane farmer and later pursued mechanic and also a well-known taxi driver. After years passed, he met his lovely wife, Sandra John, also known as Baby. That introduction led into a beautiful romance that lasted 49 years, where he took his last breath in the comfort of her arms. He was known for his smart mouth and huge sense of humor, but always straightforward. He tried to be the man in charge, but was always overpowered by the love of his life. She would allow him to think that he was in charge, and that goes to show how deeply she cared for him. He was loved by so many people in both Trinidad and the US. Balraj made friends wherever he went. Most of his conversation in New York used to be about Trinidad, and in Trinidad it was vice versa. He loved all the children that he encountered. He was fondly called Papa John by everyone in New York, Grandpa from his grandchildren in Trinidad, and Aka by his eldest grandson Rahel. Well, as we all know that a woman's supposed to take a man's surname, well, in this case, it was the other way around. But he carried the name with pride. He left an unforgettable print on everyone that he met. He was the most generous person with a huge heart. He conquered the hearts of everyone who he knew in both Trinidad and New York. He was the life of the party to all of us. His joke and wise words will greatly be missed. He was eager to come home to us in Trinidad despite the pandemic. He made sure and give us memories for the last 2 weeks with us that we will never forget. He was a man of class. He loved to dress. Despite his complications, he would never allow that to stop him. He enjoyed his life to the fullest. His wife, Sandra, John, Victor, Samir, and everyone was really close to his heart. He always mentioned he wanted to die in his homeland. Who knew he would have gotten that last wish? That was an example of how blessed he was. Rest in peace, Grandpa John. You will always be loved by all of us. Memories for a lifetime. Gone but never forgotten. He was supposed to board a plane back to New York, but instead he's boarding a seat in heaven with the angels. Shine bright up there. Thank you.
इतना तू करना स्वामी जब प्राण तन से निकले गोविंद नाम लेकर फिर प्राण तन से निकले इतना तू करना स्वामी जब प्राण तन से निकले. There are many uncertain things about life, but the only most certain thing about life is that we will all die. Every religion and every scripture preaches and teaches us about death. But while there are many things we can run and try to hide from, none of us we could hide from death. All Christian brothers and sisters, this morning, in the Holy Bible, the Christ says, to be absent in the body is to be present and seated with God. In my Father's kingdom, there are many mansions prepared for you, and if this was not so, I would have told you. In the Holy Quran, the Prophet Muhammad, upon whom be peace, said, I died from a stone, I became a plant. I died from a plant, I became an animal. I died from being an animal, I became a human. And I died from being a human, I became an angel seated with God. In the Bhagavad Gita, the text that we believe in as Hindus, it tells us the very same thing that the Holy Bible and the Holy Quran says, but a little bit different. The Bhagavad Gita says, there is a place prepared for your soul, but that place is not prepared by God. It is prepared by you, based on the life that you live. This morning I wondered and I pondered, what should I say? For some strange reason, every single day until next Friday, I have a funeral. This morning and all of these mornings are mornings of stock taking for all of us. Reminding us that death came knocking at somebody else's door, and one day it will come knocking at ours. While we make preparations for everything in life, some degree of preparation must be made for when death will come. This morning I tell a little story. And the story says that one time there lived a king. And this king considered himself to be blessed. And the reason why he considered himself to be blessed is because he had 4 wives. You think you could manage, boy? 4 of them? Be careful how you're shaking your head, huh? The king considered himself to be blessed because he had 4 wives. The 4th wife of the king, she was beautiful, she was young, and anywhere the king had to go on business or pleasure, he will carry his 4th wife with him. The third wife of the king, she loved to eat and she loved to dress up and she loved to go out and she loved all the things of the world. And anything she wanted, the king will provide for her. The second wife of the king, all she loved to do was look nice. So anything she wanted, the king will provide for her. But the first wife of the king was old. And so because she was old, the king locked her in a room and paid no heed to her. But after many years passed, living a lush life as a king, one day the king suddenly fell ill. And as the doctors came into the kingdom, into the palace of the king, examining the body of the king, they recognized something was going to happen. They said to the king, "King, we think you're going to die." The king heard that and he started to laugh. And laughing, the doctors were confused. "We're telling you you're going to die and you're laughing?" And so the king said, "Look how lucky I am." He called out to his fourth wife and he says, "Anywhere I went on business or pleasure, you went with me. I'm going to die. I want you to go." And she says, "No. When you die, I will remain right here." He called out to his third wife. He says, "Anything you wanted to eat or drink, I gave it to you. I'm going to die. I want you to go." And so she says, "I will go. But the furthest I'm reaching you is to the burial or the cremation. After that, you're left alone." He called out to his second wife, "Anything you wanted materially, I gave it to you." And she stoops and rolls her eyes up in her head. You ever see how the ladies do it? Be careful, don't answer. And so she stoops and rolls her eyes up in the head. And she said to the king, she says, "King, as soon as I hear that you're dead, I'm going to remarry." In a distance, the king heard the voice of his first wife saying, "I will hold your hand and I will walk with you in death." This morning I want to tell you, all of us, we have 4 wives. Not physical wives, but literal wives. The fourth wife that the king loved to dress up and take everywhere with him is this body. This morning, we all made sure that we were looking nice before we came here. This morning, without a doubt, most of these ladies here, they are wearing a mask. But do you know all of them have on lipstick still? And nobody will see their lip. Because we want to make sure that our body looks good. But this morning, what is the use of the body? A day will come when our body will be brought to zero, to nothing. The third wife that says, "I'll reach you to the burial or the cremation." In the eulogy, she says, "I love you, Grandpa, and I will miss you." And all of us, we love Papa. But this morning, how much of us we are willing to go in that fire with him? The furthest we can reach him is to that chitta. And after that, he's left alone. The second wife that stoops and rolls up her eyes in her head and says, "I will remarry." Every single thing that Papa owned and called his own, remarries the minute he dies. Actually, you're only worth what you have. And the minute you don't have, you're worth nothing. Always remember that. And the first wife that says, "I will hold your hand and I will walk with you even in death." Trapped somewhere in this body, there is a soul. And while our body remains behind, our soul stands accountable to our Maker. Every scripture says a day of judgment will come. In the Holy Bible it says, "The trumpet of the Lord will sound and the dead will rise to give an account." In the Holy Quran it says, when the last man leaves the burial ground, the angels descend into the grave, and so the body sits up to give an account. And so in the Bhagavad Gita it says, this morning Bhagwan will ask Papa, "I sent you into the world and I gave you eyes, what did you see? I gave you ears, what did you listen to? I gave you the nostril, what did you inhale? I gave you the mouth, tell me about the things you ate and tell me about the things you said. I gave you hands, tell me about the actions that you have performed. And I gave you legs, tell me about all the places you went to." This morning I want to tell you with no apology, before being a Hindu, before being a Christian, or before being a Muslim, let us all learn to be good human beings. And this morning I want to say with no apology, before you could ever love a God that you have never seen, let us learn to love and appreciate those who we can see around us. This morning, we have all come in one accord to pay tribute to Papa. And we have come in one accord to pray on his behalf. But this morning I say with no apology, if Papa did not pray while he was alive, then not me and not you and none of us could pray for him. This morning is a morning of remembrance for all of us. Death came knocking at his door, and it will come knocking at ours. This morning, let us all stand as we bow our heads in prayer this morning. Give them flowers. Put it like this. Yes. Let us all stand at this time as we bow our heads in prayer, as we pray finally. Hari Om Anadini Danu Deva Shankha Chakra Garaksha Pundarikaksha Preta Moksha Pradorbhava Gita Ganga Gatri Sita Satya Saraswati Brahma Vidya Brahma Balitri Sandhya Muktagini Aritamata Chidananda Bhavagani Vainashini Vedatrei Parananda Tattvarita Jnanamanjali. God saw that you were getting tired and the cure was not to be. So he placed his arms around you and whispered, "Home to me." With tearful eyes we watch, although we love you, we cannot make you stay. A golden heart has stopped beating, hard-working hands have gone to rest. God has broken our hearts to prove to us He will only take the best. Tvameva Mata Sapita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhu Sasika Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. This morning when I say Ram Nam, the reply is Satyahe. It means only the name of God is true. Ramanam, I can't hear you. Ramanam, 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 Arima Pitra Bhagavani ki Jai. Know you're excited to put your flowers, so now we will all come and put our flowers and to the arti. And whatever we have to do, we'll be leaving in a few minutes to go to the cremation site. Let us all be seated.
आरती घर आवे कष्ट मिटे तन का ओम जय जगदीश हरे मात पिता तुम मेरे शरण गहूँ मैं किसकी स्वामी शरण गहूँ मैं किसकी तुम बिन और ना दूजा तुम बिन और ना दूजा आस करूँ मैं जिसकी ओम जय जगदीश हरे तुम पूर्ण परमात्मा तुम अंतर्यामी स्वामी तुम अंतर्यामी पार ब्रह्म परमेश्वर पार ब्रह्म परमेश्वर तुम सबके स्वामी ओम जय जगदीश हरे तुम करुणा के सागर तुम पालन करता स्वामी तुम पालन करता मैं मूर्ख खलकामी मैं सेवक तुम स्वामी कृपा करो भरता ओम जय जगदीश हरे तुम हो एक अघोष सबके प्राणपति स्वामी सबके प्राणपति किस विध मिलूं दया में किस विध मिलूं दया में तुमको मैं कुमति ओम जय जगदीश हरे दीन बंधु दुख हरता तुम ठाकुर मेरे स्वामी तुम रक्षक मेरे अपने हाथ उठाओ अपनी शरण लगाओ द्वार पड़ा मैं तेरे ओम जय जगदीश हरे विषय विकार मिटाओ पाप हरो देवा स्वामी कष्ट हरो देवा श्रद्धा भक्ति बढ़ाओ श्रद्धा प्रेम बढ़ाओ संतन की सेवा ओम जय जगदीश हरे ओम जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी जय जगदीश हरे भक्त जनों के संकट दास जनों के संकट क्षण में दूर करे ओम जय जगदीश हरे
Yeah, I'll be quick because I realize that time is against us. Thank you, Pandiji. This is coming from Mr. Victor Lopez, a good friend from New York who was very close to Dad. And as I found out today, his name is Scratchy. To a friend that I lost in a blink of an eye, I never got to say goodbye. Thank you for your kindness, because when I was down, you gave me a hand. When I was thirsty, you gave me water. When I didn't have a roof over my head, you welcomed me with open arms. You were always there to guide me. And now I wish I knew which star you were in the sky to talk to you every night. Because, my friend, I know where you are, looking down at us. Embrace it, brother. You will have a special place in my heart at all time. And this comes from Mr. Victor Lopez from New York. Yeah, one more. Okay, I carry two hands. I just want to be short again. This is from myself and my family. Good day all. For those who don't know me, I'm Gina Mohammed and a friend of the family for a number of years. From my interaction with Mr. John, he always had a smile on his face and was always willing and keen and to show a good interest in helping each and everyone the best way he could. Mr. John had a hard time telling people no. Something is not his street. He never said no to anyone and always believed in forgiveness. He was such a gentle soul. His family and friends were very close to him. And I can honestly say that there was no division when it comes to him. He accepted everyone for whom they were. He worked hard amongst 3 countries, namely Trinidad, Canada, and Brooklyn, New York. No matter what he had to do, he always made sure it's done. He sacrificed his time in making his family legacy a priority. Additionally, keeping this family involved in his projects, and that's the very many things he always does. Everyone gravitated towards his happiness and was always there to help them in any way he could. John loved and welcomed all who visited him, together with his wife Sandra, at his home in Brooklyn, New York. Though he was not 100% well, he showed his visitors empathy. John has finished his course on earth as he embraces his new journey. Rest in peace, Uncle John. On behalf of my husband, who is unable to be here today, and myself, thank you all for listening. And may Mr. John's soul rest in heavenly place. Thank you all.
So this is just a word from Sabrina and Selena. Tribute to Dad. Daddy, there's so much loving memories I have of you, but just a few to mention. I must begin to say that you always treated me and considered me as your daughter. I'm so happy for the family times we spent together. I'm honored to have known you. Despite of us going our separate ways in lives, I was always happily welcome in your home. Who knew that when my daughter Selena, whom you treated as your own granddaughter, and myself visit you and Mommy in New York a few months ago would have been the last time. Thank you for being the best part of our lives. Daddy, may you rest in peace. We love you, Sabrina and Selena. From Harry and Gemma. John, an amazing, loving, caring man that we have been blessed to have in our lives for the past 41 years. My husband, Harry, also known as Lovey, the boys, the wives, and the grandchildren were in there in his journey. He made us all constantly laugh. He was a source of encouragement to us. He always had the funniest story to share, to some which I can't share, but I was sure to crack up for. I personally admire how he loved his children and grandchildren unconditionally. He spoke with such boastful pride about everyone. He was most proud of Lisa. He adored her. She was his joy. I cannot do justice for the love he has for his beautiful wife. He worshipped the ground she walks on. He loved provoking her. Whatever she desires, he made it came true with a blink of an eye. I can firmly say he was a beautiful soul, a man that showed us love. I will miss our laughs and our words of wisdom with our boys. The grandchildren will miss you, and Lovey will miss you beyond words. John made the best dal, and he always called me to come forward after work. You got your wish to go back to Trinidad and sleep forever. Baby, his love for you was pure and sweet. Rest in peace. Thank you for sharing your life with us. You will be forever missed. Kelvin, Alvin, Kalia, Kevi, Ari, Zeus, and Bubble share their loves. May you be with peace and God be with you. We might not physically be here, but our love is still here. From Harry and Gemma. Thank you.